How to teach kids simple sentences. We're going to begin by introducing two sentence parts, the naming part and the action part. The naming part names a person, place, thing, or animal, and the action part tells what the person, place, thing, or animal is or does. The naming part in this sentence is the mouse, and the action part is eats cheese. So our simple sentence is the mouse eats cheese. To introduce the parts of a sentence, we're going to use naming part cards that we see here, and our top row has a person, the girl, a place, the campsite, a thing, the flower, and an animal, a dog. And matching action part cards. And if we look in the top row, the first one is takes pictures. Second one is has activities. Third one is looks pretty. And the fourth one is catches the frisbee. So begin by taking the person from the naming part cards and the matching person from the action part cards. Then put them together. The person card says the girl, and the action part card says what the girl does, takes pictures. So when we put those two parts together, we make the simple sentence, the girl takes pictures. Now have kids complete this practice page using the same two cards to make the simple sentence.
The directions say fill in the squares and write the sentence. So we're going to look for the naming part card. And we have the first one right here. We're going to place it in the square. So now it says naming part. We have to decide whether it is a person, place, thing, or animal. The girl is a person, so let's underline that. So our naming part is the girl. So we are going to write the first part of the sentence, the girl. Now we need to go over here for the action part, and we need to find the action card that matches with the girl. And it is right here. And it tells what the girl does. So we're going to underline that. It is not saying what she is, it is telling what she does. The girl takes pictures. So we're going to put the second part of the sentence, the action part here, to complete the sentence. So we would say takes pictures. And then have kids read the sentence that they wrote. The girl takes pictures. Then ask them, what is the naming part of the sentence? And they'll say, the girl. Then ask them, what is the action part of the sentence? Takes pictures. You can also ask, is the naming part a person, place, thing, or animal? And they'll respond, person.
Now let's look at the next 3 simple sentences we will have kids make. First, let's look at the naming part of the first one. It is a place and it is the campsite. Its matching action part is provides activities. So our simple sentence is the campsite provides activities. Our second naming part is a thing, the flower, and its action part is looks pretty. So the simple sentence is the flower looks pretty. And our third simple sentence naming part is an animal, a dog, and its matching action part is catches the frisbee. And our simple sentence is a dog catches the frisbee.
Okay, now let's look at completed examples of the 3 activities we just reviewed, or the 3 simple sentences that we just did. So we have the naming part is the campsite, and it is a place, and its matching acting part is the picture that shows has activities, and it's what the site does, and the sentence is the campsite has activities. Then let's go to our second example. And the naming part was the flower. The flower is a thing. And down here we put the naming part, the flower. And then the matching action part is looks pretty. That's what the flower does. And our sentence is the flower looks pretty. And then our third sentence, our simple sentence that we just worked on, the naming part, a dog, and that is an animal, and we wrote a dog. And then the action part was catches the frisbee. That's what the dog does. And the sentence was a dog catches the frisbee. Another way we can do the simple sentences is cut out both the naming cards and the action cards and then have kids put them together. So if I take that one and then this one, we have the lemon tastes sour, and then have a kid pick out 2 of them, and then we have the farm is busy, and then match the 2 elephants. Whoops, that would not make sense. Sprays water the elephant. So say, what should you do? Now let's read it. The elephant sprays water. Yes, that sounds correct. And then we have a boy walks home. So our sentences are a boy walks home, the farm is busy, the lemon tastes sour, and the elephant sprays water.
This section is called mixed up sentences, and kids have to put the words in the correct order to make the sentence, and then tell which part is the naming part and which part is the action part.
These activities are called mixed up sentences, and this is the way the sentence was, and I've cut it up, but it's in the order that it was on the paper, and then the child has to decide what makes sense and put it in the correct order. So we have give the milk cows. That doesn't make sense. So a good clue is this is a capital, so it would be the beginning of a sentence. So the, and we're also looking for the naming part of the sentence. So the give would not make sense. The milk could make sense, or the cows. So if we went the milk give cows does not make sense. The cows give milk. Then we have the cows, that's the naming part. Give milk, that's the action part. And other ways to check: the first letter of a sentence is a capital, and there is a period at the end of a sentence. So then the kids can help self-check themselves. And then they can say, the cows give milk. And that makes sense. And that's what the pictures are representing.
This is the template for the second mixed up sentence.
Now let's try this one. It's a little bit more difficult because we have a pronoun. But the pronoun he stands for the boy. So bakes would not start a sentence. A lowercase a would not start a sentence, and that's a lowercase c. So he would be the naming part, he. And what is the action part? Bakes a cake. He bakes a cake, and that's what the picture's showing. He bakes a cake. So that makes sense. And again, point out to the kids that he is the naming part because it refers to the boy. It's a pronoun. So he, and then the action part is bakes a cake.
This next section is write a sentence with both the naming and action parts for the pictures. Each page will have a completed example and then one for kids to talk about and then complete. So for the first picture, ask, what is the naming part? The snail. And what is the action part? Crawls. The sentence would be, the snail crawls. Now ask kids about the second sentence. What is the sentence? What is the naming part of the sentence going to be? The duck. What is the action part going to be? Swims. And here is a completed example. Continue with the next pages and have kids follow the same steps that were just demonstrated. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe. And as always, the link for all the templates will be listed in the description section.